let me do my thing. Let me do my thing.
What's up, YouTube? I'm coming back again with another video. This time I'm going to show people how to speed up Windows 10. So these are going to be optimization tips for Windows 10. Now in the previous video I showed folks how to clean up old system files, how to clean up old folders that are full temporary folders and temporary files, and just overall get a smoother response out of Windows. So this time I'm going to show people how they can possibly get a little more speed out of their Windows 10 and make their computer run a little bit faster. So without further ado, we'll get right into it. The first thing I'm going to show everybody is how to see what your system specs are. So you got a computer, you've been working on it, you don't even know how big your hard drive is, how much RAM you got, so on and so forth. So I'm going to show everybody how to do that first, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to click the Windows button. Now you can click that button or you can hit the Windows key on your keyboard. Either way it does the same thing. Okay, so and also I want to say there's 4 or 5 different ways to get to everything in Windows, and everybody knows a different way, and everybody knows several ways, but I always go for the easiest way, which is click this window and just start typing what you're looking for. So we want to know what our system information is, so we're gonna type system information app pops up. Let's go ahead and click that. So when you click the system information app, this is the window that'll pop up. And over here in the right, if you look in the right, you'll see some information here, and we'll just go through it. First you see OS name, Microsoft Windows 10 Home. So whatever operating system you running on your computer, that's what will be present here. And OS stands for operating system, obviously. So we're running Microsoft Windows 10 Home on this computer. The version is the build number. Every so often they come out with updates and revisions to operating systems, and each new revision or update has a different build number. And as you can see right here, we're 10.018362 build 18362. The name of your computer, whatever you named it, if you named it, is going to be here. Who manufactured it, the model number, all of the pertinent information. So when we get down to processor, this is the processor that your system has. And this system that I'm working on right now has an Intel Core i7 2600 with 3.4 gigahertz speed, 4 cores, 8 logical processors. It shows you the BIOS version. It gives you all the other information about your system, username, who's logged into the system currently, your time zone. My system has 16 gigabytes of RAM. Whatever you'll have in your system will be shown here. And it'll say 4, 8, 16, 32, whatever you got. Available physical memory, 10. Total memory, 18. Available virtual memory, so on and so forth. I got 11 gigs of virtual memory. That's just because that's what I want. You understand? So that's your system summary. This is where all of your system information is. How much RAM you got, what kind of processor you got, what kind of system you got. All of that information will be here. Now if we go back to the Windows button and we type system again, there's system information app that gave you all of that detailed information that I just showed you, but then there's system, and it's going to show us kind of a truncated list of information about our system. So when we click that, this opens up, and this is probably the system information window that most people are used to seeing. And as you can see, it tells you your processor here, tells you how much RAM you got, system type, the computer name, if you're in a work group or not. It's got your product ID, all of the little system information you need. Now, we're going to adjust the system performance, right? We're going to adjust the system for performance. So, first thing we'll do is go right here to the Windows icon. We'll click it. We'll start typing advanced. And right here, you'll see we've got advanced system settings. We'll click that. When you click that tab, this window will open up. It's the system properties. And what we're going to do in the system properties is click the advanced tab. And we're going to go to performance settings. So we'll click the settings tab under performance. And what you'll see here is performance options. So whenever you're in the Windows 10 environment, there's all kinds of different extra additions, that processes that are running in the background to make it look visually pleasing to you, make it look beautiful. You can see thumbnails, you can see through things when you mouse over them. All of these are extra little processes that are running that don't necessarily have to be, and can save you some system speed. So if you want to just quickly adjust your PC for speed, say for instance, you've got a video editing program and you recorded yourself on your cell phone or something, you want to chop up the video and you don't want the computer freezing or lagging, this will help. So you can just click this button here, adjust for performance, and this will change the look of Windows. And you can click apply, and it will turn off all these extras. As you can see, animate controls, enable peak, fade or slide menus. It's just going to give you the bare basics. Everything's going to look plain, but it's going to run faster because you're not tying up processes with all this extra stuff. Now, usually what I do when I want to do this is I'll click the adjust for performance button, and then I'll go down and turn on the things that I just want to have on. So we'll go down and look through here. Show thumbnails instead of icons. So I like to see what's in a folder, kind of get a peek of it, or I kind of get a peek of a picture before I actually have to open it. So if you want to do that, you'd click this, show thumbnails instead of icons. And the rest of this stuff is just visually pleasing things, making the edges of the windows round instead of squared and things like that. Enabling peek, where you can mouse over a folder or a file and get a glimpse of what's inside of it. Really, the only thing that I think is absolutely necessary is the show thumbnails. The animations aren't really necessary. Okay, after you've done that, then we'll go to advanced tab while we're in performance options. And if you'll see down here, it'll say virtual memory. Now, virtual memory is basically extra hard drive space that you have that you can use like it's RAM to store and recall information when you're using all of your RAM. And so if you've got like 4 gigabytes of RAM and you're trying to run a whole bunch of Windows browser pages and open apps and run, your system will start to slow down and bog down. And this is where a paging file can come in handy, as a quick band-aid. And so we'll click change here. And Windows usually automatically manages this paging file for you. And what it'll tell you down here is that the minimum allowed is 16 megabytes. The recommended amount is 2941. And it'll tell you what you currently have allocated, which my system right here says 2432. Well, that's not going to do. What's currently allocated is not even the recommended amount. So what we'll do is we'll uncheck the automatic manage, and what we'll do is come down here and we want to do a custom size. So we'll click the custom size button. Now, generally what I'll do is my initial size, which is the start out amount that's always reserved, I will set that at the recommended amount that Windows recommends here, 2941. So that's what I'm going to do, 2941. Maximum amount, there's different thoughts on this. Some say it should be no more than 2 or 3 times the recommended amount. Some will say it shouldn't be more than a quarter of the amount of RAM you have installed on your system. There's different thoughts. So usually what I do is I set my own. And it'll tell you how much space you have available based on the size of your hard drive. So on this hard drive, I have 151,511 megabytes left over of empty space that I'm not using. Obviously, we don't want to take up even half of this because it'll start to slow your system down once you reach the other half with stored data, and then you're taking up the other half with virtual memory. It can cause problems. So what I would usually do is I go maybe a quarter of my space available. We'll go 25,000. So that's not even a quarter right there, right? So initial size is 2941, maximum size 24,000. You click set, press OK. The changes may require you to restart your computer before they can take effect. Just press OK. And when we're done with everything, then we'll just do a single restart. So, okay, after we set the paging file, we'll click apply all of the settings, press OK. We don't want to restart now. We're going to restart this after we're done doing everything. So we'll just say, no, we're going to restart later, and we'll restart later. So the next thing I want to do is check out the Windows power plan. So we'll go to the Windows icon. We'll type in power and sleep. If you can see right here, we'll see power and sleep settings. We'll go ahead and click that. You click that, this window will open, and you'll see some different settings here. So we'll go down to additional power settings and click it. And as you can see in here, it says choose a customized power plan. Now you've got 2 plans to choose from. You can choose balanced, or you can choose high performance. Balance automatically balances performance with energy consumption on capable hardware. High performance favors performance but may use more energy. Well, we want our thing to be high performance. We want our system to run quickly and smoothly. So we're going to click high performance and stay on that. Now you can even alter this plan. You can go change plan, and you can adjust the settings of that high performance. You can put the computer to sleep, never. You can turn off the display after 2 hours, 30 minutes, never, whatever you want to do. If you click change advanced power settings, another window will open, and it'll give you even more options. You can turn off the hard disk after a certain amount of times. You can adjust Internet Explorer, JavaScript timer frequency, a whole bunch more details you can go through and adjust these. But we don't need to adjust any of these settings, so we'll just click OK. So the next thing I want to do, we'll close out of that. We'll go back to the Windows icon. We'll change privacy settings. So we'll click privacy settings and see what they have in here for us. And there's a whole bunch of extra features Windows has that most people won't use or even really need. So you can just go through these and look. Let websites provide locally relevant content by accessing my language list. You can turn that off. Let Windows track app launches to improve start. You can turn that off. All of this stuff takes a little bit extra processing power. You can turn all of this off. Notifications. Allow access to access your notifications. We can turn that off. If we go to background apps, you can see all of the apps that are running in the background of your system when you start it up. And you can choose which apps can receive info, send notifications, and stay up to date even when you're not using them. Turning off background apps can help conserve power. And it can also help conserve processing and speed. I don't even use 3D Viewer, so we can turn that off. We can turn off anything that we don't use. Calculator, if you never use it, turn it off. Go down the list. Solitaire, games, all of this stuff that's seeking data in the background or using data in the background, you can turn all of those off. And that's just another way to get a little more speed out of your system. And with that, I'll end this video. And if you like this content, if you find these tips useful, please subscribe to the channel. Any comments you have, write them below in the comments section. I'll do my best to answer them all as I get them. Until next time, thanks for hanging out with me. Peace.